Well, good morning, and on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce and the City of Independence, we want to welcome you to First Friday. I'm going to take off my mask so you can hear me better. And we're getting ready to start our morning. We're all glad that you're with us on Facebook Live. We're doing this virtual now. So before we get started with our 6 great speakers, I want you to please help me thank this morning's business sponsor, Dairy Queen of Independence. They are owned by Brent and Dorothy Littleton, and Brent and Dorothy are generous sponsors and supporters of the community and the Chamber of Commerce. So would you please welcome Brent Littleton?
Just wanted to thank Lisa and the Chamber and everything they do for this community. Them girls work hard, and we have a beautiful community to be part of. Thank you for the opportunity to get to be a sponsor for you this year. I wanted to especially thank all of our customers, because without our customers, we just wouldn't have any success at all. And even though it's been a rough couple of years, if y'all remember, we opened in July of 2018, the new store. In 2019, when spring rolled around, we had all the rain and the flooding. I don't know if y'all remember that. And that dropped our sales about 100,000. No baseball games. A lot of the tournaments that usually took place were gone. And the park was closed out at Elks, the state city, Elk City Park, and no campers, no 4th of July, no. And then this year, Corona. And there went another 100,000. Our dining room was closed for about 10 weeks, a little over 2 months. We're open to 50% capacity is all, but we still are dealing with the effects of getting product and we got a lot of high school employees that work for us. They get 30, 40 cases of corona in the high school, and now all the kids are quarantined and they can't come to work, and now we're short-staffed, and you just can't keep hiring people because there's, it just doesn't work that way. So this has been a year of more issues than I've ever imagined in my life. And it's not just me. Go ask McDonald's, Brahms, Taco Bell, Pooterbaugh at Big Cheese. I mean, these are issues that all of us are facing. And we're doing the best we can, and we certainly hope our community understands. Despite that, if you do have a problem at Dairy Queen, oh my God, please don't blow me up on Facebook. Just give me a call. My number is 713-569-9071. Almost sounds like a hee-haw advertisement, but BR549, remember that? Anyway, call me, and I will resolve your issue and explain to you why maybe you experienced a circumstance that wasn't perfect. These kids our workforce is low. It's hard to develop and train people, and once you get them developed, Walmart hires them from you because they pay a little more than we can, and it just, I can't help myself. So, but we do thank the community, and that's why we're here. With what we have, we do everything we can to support it. And but we couldn't support it without our customers. So, again, thank you very, very much. With that in mind, I meant to bring that paper up there with me. What is that gentleman's name? Not you, Chad Richenberger. Chad Richenberger was the first one to kind of realize that the county sheriff department was needing some new dogs. And we've got people in place and trained. And last month, he was here for the first Friday, and I was at home watching it on Facebook, and I heard that they needed almost $24,000 for 2 dogs, and 1 dog was about $14,000. So that day I drove to the chamber, and I didn't know Chad had started anything, but I drove to the chamber and said, hey, tell you what I'll do, I'll donate 10% of that first dog. And I want to challenge the community and our other business owners to do anything they can to support them as well. And so that's where we started. And I just wanted to present them with a check of $1,400 to fulfill my obligation. And the response and the success that's come out of that since we started it has been incredible. And I would like to let this fine dog handler himself tell you the response that we've had since we began. And again, thank you for letting me be part of your community.
Thank you very much, Brent. Appreciate the donation made to the K-9 program at the Sheriff's Office. As of yesterday, we are currently sitting at $21,000 in donations. We're very excited about how much success we've had with this fundraiser. We're currently setting up the logistics to be able to go to Florida to look at scoring dogs and getting one selected within the next couple weeks. And we'd just like to say thanks to everybody that's helped and assisted with the fundraiser.
Well, Brent, again, thank you for your sponsorship this morning, and thank you for your commitment to the community. We greatly appreciate your support of the Sheriff's Department. I know you've supported the Police Department and all law enforcement, so we definitely appreciate your support. And Jeremy, we appreciate your service as well. So super excited about reaching that goal. I mean, we're just right there. And that's really, really good news. And again, I want to extend some appreciation to Chad Richenberger. He was boots on the ground out soliciting and requesting, and he didn't have to ask, he didn't have to beg, that's for sure. And money came rolling in, so we're very fortunate to have Chad and his volunteer efforts working for the Sheriff's Department. So let's take a few minutes and give you a quick update on what's going on in Independence. I'm going to hit them hard and fast so we stay on task. And all my updates this morning are focused on ways we can love Independence and all the people who live here and all the people we care about. So if you're watching on Facebook Live and you haven't gotten dressed yet, listen up. In 1979, 42 years ago, my dad died of a heart attack at the young age of 42. So heart disease runs in my family. Today is National Wear Red Day. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer among women. That means 1 in 3 women will pay that price with their life. And I think we have 5, 6, 7 women here today. Spread the word. It will save a life. So if you haven't gotten dressed yet, and you're, like I said, watch it on Facebook Live, go back into that closet, and let's go red today. So speaking of red, it's almost Valentine's Day, and have I got a deal for you? Our very own entrepreneur and one of today's speakers, Joanne Smith. She's the owner of Southeast Kansas Living Magazine, which happens to look like this. And she has partnered with some local Southeast Kansas businesses to offer a regional sampler box. And it makes the perfect gift for anyone, or if you're like me, you're just going to buy one yourself. And guys, you can thank me later. I put a flyer at each one of your spots. So here's what's in the box. You're going to get a selection of Luther's Smokehouse famous beef jerky. You're going to get 2 engraved stainless wine tumblers from Fab Creative Services. You're going to get custom crafted lavender and rose Dead Sea bath salts, exclusive for the box from the Lavender Patch Farm in Fort Scott. Haven't been there, want to go. You're going to get a custom painted name block from Little House Lane. You're going to get fancy chocolate truffles, and it said S on there, Joanne, so that means plural, so I'm going to put up another finger. And And all of this is actually, I think that was 8 things. All of this is all right here, those 2 things in downtown Independence. And you get a special bonus gift from Southeast Kansas Living. We don't know what that is, but that makes 8. And I'm going to put up 9 fingers because she will actually and her staff deliver within 20 miles of Independence, or for a very small fee, she'll ship it anywhere it needs to go. So please help support our small businesses, our entrepreneurs, and help showcase all that's super cool in the region by thinking about purchasing one of those sampler boxes. You have to go to sekliving.com, and you got to do it by 5 o'clock today in order to have all of your Valentine's needs just checked off right there. So let's keep going. Sports, gotta love the Bulldogs. IHS is hosting district wrestling this year. So the girls wrestle today at 4 and the boys wrestle tomorrow at noon. So if you want to check that out, you go to YouTube and you look up IHS Athletics and you can check that out. We also love our Independence Community College Pirate football coach, Coach Harris. We want to congratulate Kiyoshi on his well-deserved break right into Division I football at Boise State. We're going to miss him dearly, and his super wife, who's an amazing high school English teacher, Julie. And today at noon at the foundation office downtown, they're going to give Coach Harris a big send-off and wish him well, so be sure and mark that on your calendar for the lunchtime to be able to go and say farewell to Kiyoshi and Julie. And then finally, we want to congratulate Jason Martin. He's been on the coaching staff, and he's been promoted to the head football coach position out there, so we're excited for him. And then finally, ICC football season, as crazy as it sounds, starts in 49 days on March the 26th. I don't think I've ever known football season to start in March, but it does this year. We want to love the earth and recycle, so tomorrow is recycling drop-off at the sanitation yard at 21st and Maple, 8 to noon, and the recycling station is also open every Tuesday from 11 to 1. You can also drop off recycling and all your junk and your debris and furniture, get rid of everything. It's time to clean up. And then on Thursdays, besides or excluding recycling, you can drop off those bulky items as well from 8 to 2. Members from the Independence Community College football team will be giving back to the community, and they're going to be volunteering tomorrow morning. So they're going to be out at the sanitation yard helping everyone get those recyclables out of their trunks and back seats and unloaded. And thanks to the athletic director, Eric Figurski, for helping me volunteer those athletes. All of the off-season athletes will be helping now through the end of May at the recycling station. So tomorrow morning, the Chamber of Commerce is having a ribbon cutting at 9 o'clock in the morning at Needed Relief Massage Therapy, owned by Gail Matlock. It's at 110 West Main. I think she should change the name to Very Much Needed Massage Therapy. It, too, would make a great Valentine's Day gift. Self-care is very important. So, or maybe just love yourself and schedule a time for a massage. Give yourself a gift. I think that's what I might do. And the blood drive is next Tuesday, February the 9th at the Civic Center right here from 11:15 to 5:15. They come every other month. You can call 1-800-RED CROSS to make an appointment, and that, too, is a great way to love and care for others. I love high school basketball, and the older I get, the fewer kids that I recognize out on the basketball court, but nevertheless, I love basketball. And the Bulldogs are taking on Coffeyville next Tuesday, so that'll be a great game. You can watch IHS basketball on YouTube by, again, searching IHS Athletics, or it will be broadcast on My Country 102.9 FM. Girls tip off at 6, and the boys' game follows about 20 minutes after they end, around 7:30. And following those games, the following Tuesday, on the 16th, the Bulldogs will take on Parsons at the same time. And then I'm definitely a Pirate fan, and as I said, I love basketball. The Independence Community College Pirates are going to play Hutch on Wednesday, so basketball at the high school on Tuesday, Pirate basketball on Wednesday. Women will tip off at 5, men will play at 7. And then they're going to play against Seward County on Saturday, the 20th, and the women will play at 2, and the men will play at 4. And you can watch these games virtually at indypirates.com, or you can check out their Facebook page because they are going to be opening the gym at reduced capacity. So you want to check that out for all of the details. We're so fortunate to have a thriving downtown. We talk about this a lot, but it is one of the qualities that all of us love so much about living here. So show your love for local retailers by doing this. Writing love letters for local. It's a Main Street program, and here's what you need to know. You need to get your letter written today if you want to get in on the first week competition. But every week, you'll write letters to all of our local retailers and tell them about how much you love them and all that they are offering our community. You go down to 109 East Main, you drop it in this little red mailbox down there at the Main Street office. She gathers them out every Friday. She'll pull one out, and that winning love letter gets $25. She sets those aside. She does it again next week, the following week, and the last week in February she'll do it. Then she's going to dump them all in together, and she'll pull out one at the very end of the month, and that will be for $100. So it's a great way to get some extra bucks to spend in town and to show your love. You can also register those letters online on her Facebook page, and she's, I think, going to be publishing some of them. Independence Main Street will also have Let's Whine About Winter, which I think is very appropriate that we should all be able to whine. It is an evening full of friends and food and sips and shopping. It's Thursday evening, the 18th in downtown, I think from 5 to 8, so mark your calendar for that. And as I mentioned, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, so show some love. You can get chocolate from our candy store, dinner from all of our restaurants, meaningful conversation over a glass of wine at one of our local pubs and bars or a brewery. And there's so many gift options available at our unique retail shops, boutiques, and stores in downtown Independence. So forget online shopping and show your love for Independence by shopping local this Valentine's Day. Every Tuesday through March, this is very important, Farmers to Families Food Commodities will pass out food boxes to community members, and they've been doing this all along. We just had one this Thursday. These boxes have fresh meat, fresh produce, dairy products, so they're completely free. You don't have to qualify. Just get in your car, drive up, and get one of the boxes. And if it's something that you don't need but you have the time, then grab a few boxes, put them in your car, and go share the love to someone else who might be able to use them. Distribution starts at 10:30 in the Park Oval. You'll go down Penn Avenue. You'll turn on Morningside Drive, which is the first street at the north end of the cemetery, and you'll get on Morningside, go to 5th Street up by the stadium, and then you'll see the cars, and you'll get in line for that. And I believe they try to give everybody 2 and 3 boxes of food, so it's a great opportunity. You don't want to miss out on it. Again, it's every Tuesday. We think the truck will be here through March. They've had 900+ boxes available, so lots of food. Pheasants Forever Bird Dog Classic is coming up February 13th and 14th. You're going to hear more about that from our Ed Holland, one of our speakers this morning. Skip Cooking on Saturday, February the 20th, and you'll be able to enjoy chicken and noodles and chili for dinner. Zion Lutheran Church is hosting a dinner and auction fundraiser from 2 to 5 at the Zion School, 301 South 11th. So let's love on them and skip cooking. I'm all about that. Save the date for an opportunity to learn life-saving skills. We've talked about this before. You have one more opportunity coming up. Indy Saves is a local nonprofit, and they are sharing the love by offering free CPR, AED education and certification. So you just need to carve out a couple hours. It's 9:30 to 10:30 at Indy Fitness on February the 20th. And you can sign up by calling 331-8096 or emailing, and this is easy to remember, indysavescpr@gmail.com. Independence Historical Museum and Art Center has lots of fun things happening there. Now through March the 5th, they have the Smithsonian Traveling Exhibit. It's called Crossroads: Change in Rural America. The exhibit and the museum are open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 10 to 4, and they also have lots of programs and upcoming events and other exhibits, so check out their Facebook page. And wrapping it up, we have the Kansas Airstrip Attack coming back to Independence on Saturday, April 17th and 18th. This event will feature exotic and expensive, one-of-a-kind, high-performance race cars and drivers from all over the country. Spectators can expect to see Lamborghinis, Porsches, Ferraris reaching top speeds of up to 200 miles an hour on a half-mile track. They're going to be out at our airport runway. You'll want to check out Shift Sector's Facebook page, Kansas Airstrip, Facebook page, and they have all the ticket information on there for you. And this year, they are adding roll racing to the list. It's 16 of the top racers from all over the country. These cars are crazy fast and powerful, and they will be also in a bracketed roll racing competition. And then Jason just emailed me that there's going to be 2 car clubs that are coming from Kansas City. They're going to be rallying to the event, and it's Drive KC and KC Exotic Car Club. And they'll be coming, they'll either be racing or they'll be showing their cars. So it's going to be super fun, April 17th and 18th. And then that evening, on Saturday, they're going to have an after party at Brothers Railroad Inn. Community is invited, enjoy music. The cars will all be out there. You can order up great food, and it will be lots of fun. And with that many people at the event, it's a great opportunity for us to showcase our local businesses. So they have offered up to all of our chamber members an opportunity for you to have free booth space at the event. All you have to do is just buy a ticket, and you can go out and you can showcase all of the things that we have to offer at our local businesses or industries, whatever you want to showcase. So if you want to be a part of that, be sure and give me a call, and I'll give you more information about that. And the last thing is save the date and make plans for Love Independence. It's on Saturday, April 24th. It's always on the last Saturday of April. It's our 6th annual Love Independence Day, and you're like, what in the world is that? And you don't need to know anything except that it is a complete and total day of random acts of kindness. No instructions needed except be kind and show your love for one another. So, and you're thinking, gosh, that I don't have a lot of money. You don't have to have a lot of money to participate. This is all about paying somebody a compliment. Just speak to somebody, say hi, wave at somebody, smile through your mask. Even you have to use your eyes now. Open the door for someone, or spend 50 cents and get a stamp and write somebody a love letter or thank you note. We know we can always pay it through in the drive-through, leave some extra money for the Sonic happy hour drinks, put quarters in gumball machines, grab some cash and carry flowers, pass them out, buy someone's coffee. I mean, the list goes on and on. So just plan to get together with your family, your friends, your neighborhoods, your churches, your organizations, your civic clubs, your businesses, your industry, and start thinking now about what you can do on April the 24th to show the love on Love Independence Day. All right, you'll find all of this information and then some on our website, on our Facebook page, which is Get Independence, What's Up in Independence, which is published in the Independence Daily Reporter. A calendar of events that looks like this is also on our website. We'll flash it out. It's in the Independence Daily Reporter as well. We do live radio spots on KIND every Friday afternoon on 94.9 at around 4:50. We have a taped community calendar where I talk about lots of these items. It runs 4 times a day, Monday through Friday on 102.9 and KIND 94.9, and it's sponsored by our very own Dairy Queen, Brent and Dorothy Littleton. And with that, and one more thing, we also do morning interviews every Tuesday at 8:10 on KGGF 690. That's a great opportunity to hear what's happening in the community, and it's played throughout the week as well. So now I'm ready, and I probably got us off schedule just a little bit. We're going to make up for it. We're going to go right into our wonderful speakers this morning. We have Joanne Smith and Barbara Ames that are going to be speaking about the Fab Food Lab grant project. We have our very own Doug Harlan, who's going to be speaking about the Downtown and Around Town Flag Project and how we can step up and start paying for some flags in our community and supporting that cause just the same way we did the K-9 project. We have Mark Farrell and Ed Holland, who are going to be talking about the economic impact of hunting events, both past in just the last month and the future. And we also have Tricia Purdon, who is from the Montgomery County Action Council, who'll be speaking about economic development and funding for area businesses. It's time for me to step away from the podium and welcome our duo, Joanne Smith and Barbara Ames, to tell you all about the Fab Food Lab grant project.
Thank you, Lisa, for the opportunity to be here, but wow, I'm exhausted now. There's so much to do in Independence. Nobody has an excuse ever for being bored. but I am going to share another opportunity that's available soon to the community. Often I'm here to speak on behalf of Fab Lab ICC and some of the innovative and creative things that are happening there. It's really more than a place, more than a maker space. It's really a culture about entrepreneurship and innovation and creativity. And we have yet another new program that's about to launch at the Fab Lab that is also going to be great for our community and something very new for our area. So just a little bit about how this came about. Lisa mentioned it and kind of stumbled over the words because it is kind of a mouthful. It's the Fab Food Lab, which I came up with that name, and maybe that's a little trickier than it should be. But it relates to the Fab Lab and to the food program, food project that we're about to launch. So a little background, for the past 2 years, 3 years almost now, since 2018, Fab Lab ICC and Independence Community College have been participating in a program that is sponsored by Verizon, the technology company. It's a STEM program, an education program, and in our community, it's for rural young girls. So girls who are in middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. We offer a 3-week summer camp, Monday through Friday, 3 weeks, with 100 girls. And then every week during the school year, every month, we do a Saturday morning workshop once a month throughout the school year, providing STEM education for girls who may not otherwise have as much access to that type of education as we would like. So it's a program that is entirely sponsored by Verizon, and it's been going on, like I said, since 2018. And we participated in about 2 full years of the program, and then the pandemic hit. So in 2020, the program was actually paused, not ended, but paused so that we could figure out safe ways to provide the programming going forward, whether it's in person, virtually, or a hybrid mix of the two. But in lieu of the annual program, which again is already fully sponsored by Verizon and its foundation, the Verizon decided to offer another opportunity for all of the schools, community colleges, and universities across the country who are participating in the STEM programming. And that's about 49 different schools around the country. They decided to offer the opportunity for every school to apply for a $50,000 grant for some sort of COVID response in their community. It didn't have to be directly related to STEM. It didn't have to be directly related to the college. It could be something open to the entire community. And there were really not very many restrictions, not very many criteria that had to be met. We just had to be creative with a program that would make an impact. So we got together, our team at the Fab Lab brainstormed, and we decided to address the issue of food insecurity. We noticed, that there were grocery shortages during the pandemic, during the early months of the pandemic. There were shortages in the stores. We noticed, of course, that kids were out of school and a lot of them missing the breakfasts and lunches that they might normally get in the school building. And we felt like this might be a prime opportunity to provide some good education to the community about healthy food choices, how to grow your own, how to preserve your food, how to cook your food. As we're all at home more and we're focused a little more locally, supporting our local businesses, maybe our local farmers, we thought there might be lots of opportunities to connect people and resources through the Fab Food Lab. We also, as part of ICC, have a commercial kitchen at the ICC West facility and plenty of meeting space. So we felt like there are lots of opportunity to develop programs that could work well in that setting if needed. Things that we have in mind for Fab Food Lab include things like a year-round or an off-season farmers market. We have our great farmers market here in the community during the summer months, but no opportunity for that in the winter time. But with the meeting space that's available at ICC West, we felt like that might be a good opportunity. We thought about education classes on everything from cooking to growing food to some of the other ideas you're going to hear about just in a little bit, but maybe preserving food, how to preserve food. So if you can't find it in the grocery store in the middle of winter, maybe you've got something on your pantry shelf that you've grown and canned yourself. So lots of education opportunities, and we're working on a plan for the entire year. One of the very first things that's going to happen as part of the Fab Food Lab project are some cooking classes. And we have engaged a professional chef. Her name is Allie Winter. She's from Northeast Kansas. She lives north of Topeka, but she's traveled all over the state and all over the Midwest for about 20 years to speak and do classes and education about cooking. She's a blogger. She provides a lot of recipes. She's very dynamic, and she is going to come to Independence in March to do some cooking classes. Now, what we have planned right now, she has given us a list of about 15 or 20 different options for classes. We've posted that on the Fab Lab ICC website, which is fablabicc.org. And everyone here and everyone in the audience, everyone in the community has the opportunity to log on and tell us what your top 4 choices are. We're going to record 4 videos when she is here with a very limited in-person audience, a handful, maybe half a dozen people in our commercial kitchen at ICC West. And then we'll have those videos available to the community. But if you go in and vote for the topics that you are most interested in learning about, that's how we will choose the videos that she will produce. And everyone who enters or who makes a vote will be entered into a drawing to win one of those few seats for the in-person recording classes or recordings. The session where we'll be she'll be preparing her meals, and you'll be able to be a part of that. So we'd like to hear from you. We want to know what everybody else wants to know about. We want to know what you like to cook or would like to learn more about. So get on there to the fablabicc.org website and give us your votes, and we will go from there and create some great classes in March, and then we will make them available to the entire community in multiple formats. So you will be able to log in at any time for some cooking education. So with this ambitious project, of course, we need a very capable leader. And so it's my pleasure to introduce Barbara Ames, who is going to be the project lead for the Fab Food Lab. Barbara is pretty well known in our area as a food expert, food and nutrition expert. She's had worked as an extension agent with the Wildcat Extension District here for about 16 years. She retired in December. We didn't give her any rest. We snapped her up in January, and she started working with us. So it's my pleasure to introduce Barbara Ames, who will share a little bit more about our project.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm really excited to have the opportunity to be a part of the Fab Food Lab project and to get to work with Joanne and Jim and all the people out there. And I'm excited also to be here with you this morning to share with you just a little bit more about some of the things that we have coming up. You've heard about the Chef Allie cooking classes, but we have more things in store. One of the ways to help people manage their food budget and keep families food secure, is by helping them learn to grow food. And Joanne mentioned a little bit about that. We have already been talking with the Wildcat District Horticulture Agent about coming and helping us with some videos and some classes and some hands-on projects about food growing. Different things about gardening. And one of the things that we want to do is perhaps do some raised bed gardening, actually a hands-on project at the community college campus. And then also, he's planning on doing some container gardening classes and classes about soil preparation, pest control, harvesting, just all kinds of different things to go along with gardening. And then also, once we get some food produced or grown and harvested, we may need to have some more cooking classes. And then definitely we want to do some food preservation classes along the way. And then also, the horticulture agent has agreed to come back and help us in the fall with some tree planting, some fruit tree planting and growing. So that's kind of exciting. That's something I'm personally interested in. Also, if there's interest, we would like to do some education around starting a food-related business. Maybe some people are interested in that, or if you're already kind of working that way, maybe some updates on the regulations and different things that goes into legally doing a food-related business. We do have, as Joanne mentioned, the ICC commercial kitchen that we could offer up to help people in their food-related businesses. And then also we could use that kitchen perhaps to do some community food preparation events, such as getting a group together to prepare freezer meals, a week's worth of freezer meals that they could take home for their freezer. Something else that we've already been working on, again with some extension agents, is incubating some eggs. Excuse me there. Incubating some eggs and hatching some chicks. Some people are interested in backyard flocks, and so once we get those chicks hatched, then we want to follow that up with a program on how to manage backyard chickens. And with the chicks, we hope to start out with a video, maybe a Zoom video that's recorded, but then some Facebook Live updates as the eggs are being incubated and those chicks start to hatch, so people can be involved in watching that. Also, we have maybe some plans for mushroom growing classes or things around beekeeping. And then something else that we're kind of excited about is the possibility of a food-related trade show. And we thought perhaps a good time to do that would be along with the 100th anniversary of the Montgomery County 4-H Fair in July. So we're kind of looking at that, and we hope that that would include educational classes there at the ICC West commercial kitchen or other, rooms that we have at ICC West. And we also hope that that would include some informational booths and some hands-on activities. And also, we want to have some local vendors and food producers on hand where people that come can buy food or learn about places they can get different kinds of meat or honey or whatever that's produced locally. So you can probably understand that we are still in the planning stages of all this. It's a work in progress, but we do want to remind you to go out to our website. And I'm sorry for that this morning. I've got sinus issues going on. Anyway, be checking our website. As Joanne already mentioned, we have some choices out there for the Chef Alley classes. She does have some different things that you can choose from, so be sure and go out and vote on the class or I think you get to choose the top 3. Vote on the ones that you would like to see so you can get the things that you're the most interested in. And hopefully really soon we will have some gardening classes up there that you can choose from too. So just keep checking that out. And if there are some things that you're thinking of you'd like to learn about that are food related that maybe we haven't mentioned, let us know, because we would be glad to take that into consideration. We are here to serve the community, and we hope that you will get involved and take advantage of all the different opportunities that we hope to offer to the community very soon. So thank you very much, and be checking the Fab Food Lab website, fablabicc.org. Thank you.
I think that's like one of the blessings or the silver lining to COVID is would be all of the great things that have been afforded to us because of the pandemic. So I am very, very interested and excited about learning more about the grant program and all that it's going to bring to the area. And again, you go to ICC FabLab ICC, I got that backwards, fablabicc.org. And Barbara, I had no idea you had retired, so congratulations on that. And smart girl Joanne snatched you right up, so. Our next speaker is a good friend of mine. We went to high school together. He is a veteran. He is passionate about our community. He's making a difference every day in the things that he is involved with. And one of his passion projects right now, along with his son, has been to bring patriotism to our community by putting flags up all over the downtown area and most recently out on West Main. They are absolutely beautiful. There are close to 100 of those, and we want to make sure that we are able to keep those flying high in Independence. So here to speak to us about the flag project is my good friend, Doug Harlan.
I've been a volunteer with the VFW since 1991. It's been a tradition up at the post to maintain the downtown flags for years, probably 60, 70 years that I know of. We all get together and go do the downtown flags, and we usually take our kids with us and get them involved. And during the putting up of the maintaining the downtown flags, we have discussions about how nice it'd look to expand it a little bit and see what happens. So we scraped together a little bit of money and bought some new flags and brackets and got them all up, and finally got them posted on West Main, and they look pretty good, and the response has been overwhelming. And since then, the high school, Max Bradbury's homeroom class, and Al Spiker's shop class have stepped up. We have plenty of labor. We have 100 flags up now, as Lisa said, with maybe 150 more to go on East Main and North Penn. Things we are learning is how much it costs, how long flags last, so on. Sustainability, I think we got that down pretty good with the high school kids. We got 100 now, and we're going to add maybe 150. If we go out on East Main and North Penn with another 150 flags at $75 a piece, that's a little over $11,000. So you can see how much this is costing. And a technique that we've used for years at the VFW is we get 100 guys to pitch in $50 a piece. We got $5,000, and we just roll with it. We don't really know how much it's going to cost every 6 months yet to replace flags, but it could cost maybe $4,000 or $5,000 every 6 months to replace, what we have. What we're doing to make this easier and maybe expand the 200 concerned citizens into maybe 400 or 500 is we're establishing a relationship with the Community Foundation for Independence to make it easier for people to donate money. And we'll see how far, how long we can do this and hopefully make it look real nice around town. On Veterans Day, the Chamber has sponsored a Veterans Day of Honor. There's a lot of people in here that work hard on that. Through T-shirt sales and a cornhole tournament, we have a nice little stipend here to add to it, and it should help out quite a bit. The refreshing thing about this project is the community spirit. People are taking care of the flags. They fall, if something happens, they pick them up, they take them to the VFW, the American Legion, and we get them back up as soon as we can. We didn't really realize how much help the community was going to be. But it's kind of refreshing that in times like these where it seems like nobody agrees on anything, but we do agree on that every day is Independence Day and Independence, and we're going to try to show that as best we can.
Right here. All right, so Doug mentioned that Veterans Day of Honor we had the cornhole tournament, we sold some T-shirts, and we raised $1,400. So I'm going to get this back on because I'm turning around here. We raised $1,400, so I've got a check here that we want to give to you to put towards purchasing some more flags to put up. So thank you. I want to say a couple things about Doug's project. So we have the Veterans Day of Honor, as you all know, on an annual basis around Veterans Day. We have the amazing Veterans Freedom Square out in our park. It's an educational war memorial that brings a lot of people to town. And we have a lot of war memorials that we showcase in our community. Doug and Ryan and a lot of other guys are heavily involved in Veterans Roundup, making sure that our veterans know about the benefits that they deserve and that they need to be made aware of. And they're working hard to make sure that everyone gets that important information. And then they took it a step further and decided, to put up these flags. And I think maybe you said this, did you put them up like during COVID? Didn't you and JT, get out and do that? And again, that's another blessing that came from a really, yucky thing as we were going through COVID-19. to see those flags go up. And I remember the day I got the text from Doug that said, hey, you need to go out on East Main or West Main. And I hadn't been out there. I didn't know those flags were up. And I drove out. I was headed west, and I went up over the overpass, and all those flags are there. And then the sun was just perfect, and the American Legion flag was flying. And it just gives you a sense of patriotism and thankfulness that you just can't hardly describe. So as Doug said, in a time where we can't agree on anything, it feels like. We can agree, as Doug said, that every day is Independence Day, and we can agree that we are all Americans and proud to be so. So I just encourage you all to give some thoughtful consideration, as we all gave to Community Foundation for Independence to raise money for that amazing canine project, that we rally and we come together and we write checks so that we can continue to have these flags in our town. And we're known, when people come to Independence, as a community that is not divided. We're united, and we love America, and we support our veterans. It's a great way for you to give a gift. So skip birthday gifts this year. Start giving flags. Start making donations in honor of people or in memory of people, in support of our veterans. And all those gift-giving occasions, consider opting for supporting the Flag Project. We'll be putting more information out about that through our Facebook page, so you can watch that, or you can give us a call at 331-1890, and we'll visit with you over the phone about that. So again, Doug, thank you very much for spearheading the project. Thank you for getting the youth involved at the high school. Those guys made the brackets, they put the flags up, they painted the poles. They're very involved, and we thank you for your service. All right, we have another duo this morning. So these two guys are avid hunters, and they are here to talk to us, as I mentioned before, all about a few hunting events that happened a few weeks ago, and a few that are coming down the pipe soon. So would you please welcome Mark Farrell and Ed Holland.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it very much. My name is Mark Farrell. Most of you know me from Mossy Kennels here in town. Also, the best kept secret in town is Bird Hunters United. I own a field trialing organization that travels throughout the center of the United States. We host field trials. Since I bought this organization a little over 4 years ago, we've decided to bring our national event with a couple other small hunts to Independence. Our national event was just held here in the middle of January. With that being said, we are the only family organization, field trial organization that there is. When I say that, I have a youth division and a women's division. We are the largest in the United States in those two divisions. We have more women and more kids play than anyone. The impact that has on Independence, when the men are hunting, the women are downtown Independence spending money. The chamber was kind enough to put us some bags together, had some coupons in it, some hoo-hoos, had Joanne's magazine in there. The ladies sat, instead of staring out the window looking at a field wondering, is that my husband and my dog, is it doing well? They actually sat and read the magazine. Lots of compliments on our, excuse me, on our downtown Independence. And excuse me, it's something when you get up here, it makes you do that. On being downtown Independence and how bright and sunshiny and friendly that everyone was. The actual impact, I know for a fact at one motel, they were kind enough to call and share this with me. They are a chamber member also. We had over 40 motel rooms rented for 4 days in that one place. That doesn't include the others that may or may not be chamber members. If you're not, you should be. I went to those people and said, hey, could you help? We've got this many people coming to town, and we need a place for them to stay. So over 40 rooms there, not including the other stuff. I know we had hunters stay out at Rusty's at the ranch. We fed over 84 people at the country club on Saturday night for our awards banquet. That was players, women, children that came with their husbands that played, women and children that did play. So again, just a big family-oriented type thing. That's what separates us from the other two field trial organizations that run throughout the United States. In 4 days, we had a total of over 400 runs. To give you an idea, we put 3 birds down for every run. We had over 400 runs. We purchased over 1,200 birds. We would like to purchase them locally. We have no one that has the capability of raising that many. They were brought in from some fellow hunters of ours from up in Garnett, Kansas, so they are Kansas locally raised and brought in. With that being said, I went to the community. Most of them are friends, and said, hey, I got this many hunters coming to town. What do you think? What do you guys want to do? Daylight Donuts, Mikey's Liquor, all Turbos, Stoney's Grub and Pub, CJ's Thread, and the Microtel all stepped up and said, hey, we'll give you a break. Tell those people to come see us. Tell them that they're with Bird Hunters United, and we will give them a discount on the room. We'll give them a discount on food. We'll give them a discount on that kind of stuff. Had CJ's Threads purchased, they did all of our sweatshirts for us. One of the things we do at Nationals, we hand everybody that qualified for Nationals out a hoodie. You know, in the years past, we've done stocking caps, we've done hats, that type of stuff. This year was hoodies. CJ's Threads made all of those for us. When they did that, our youth program, I had purchased gun bags for all the kids. CJ's Threads put Bird Hunters United on them, no charge. Excuse me. It's that kind of stuff that makes Independence the cool little town that it is, and proud to be a part of it. Obviously, we can't do any of this without the Chamber's help. We thank you, ladies, very much. You work very hard, and we appreciate that. Ed Holland's going to speak here in just a moment about a couple other organizations that are coming to town to put on field trials and do that type of stuff. Guys, we do make an impact. If you see somebody running around, we're all goofy, we all wear bright orange, we don't want somebody else shooting us, that type of stuff. If you hear about one of our events coming to town, you see a bunch of men and women running around in orange, or say Bird Hunters United or National Upland Classic Series on them, they're here because we're hosting a field trial. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mr. Ed?
Thank you, Mark and Lisa. Before I really begin, I would like to, Lisa and the Chamber and Madison, you have been very, very supportive of us for the last 6+ years. And the economic impact that I think that Mark and BHU bring to this community is staggering. But I also want to thank Mark we brought Bird Hunters, he bought Bird Hunters United out of northern Missouri and brought it here to Independence, Kansas. And I'm an out-of-towner. I'm out of Kansas City, and I'm with Pheasants Forever, is one of the board members with Pheasants Forever. So they wanted me to put on some field trials to raise money for different Pheasants Forever opportunities. Before I start, Doug, I need to get your contact information. I would like our Pheasants Forever Bird Dog Classic to donate $250 to your flags. So if you would give me his information, okay? I just love it, and having you do that is because I know when I come into this town and see flags, it just lifts your spirit. And so if we can add a little money to add a few more flags, we would like to do that. You're welcome. The events that we do are strictly, and they're field trials, as Mark said. We just had Nationals here, but the ones that I am involved, that I put on 3 events, and they're all here in Independence, Kansas. And one of them is the Bird Dog Classic, which is coming up next weekend, February 13th and 14th. And this is our biggest fundraising arm that supports all of our youth events. And we have another event called Pheasants Forever Youth Outdoor Experience. And we do it in May, where we bring about 35 to 40 youth. You know, we got all these kids now, and they're doing this, and they're watching TV, and they're just doing all the things that, that I didn't do growing up, because I was out in the woods enjoying what God gave us, which is this beautiful earth. So we're trying to motivate these kids to have a new experience into the outdoors. So we bring them down to the Remington Ranch with Rusty Baker. And we have professional instructors that come down too. And we typically have 5 or 6 events where they'll shoot some sporting clays. John Francis comes down. We have an archery instructor for professional archery instruction. They get to fish in Rusty's Pond. We shoot BB guns, pellet guns, .22 rifles, so these are kids going in different stations. And all of the events that we put on the Bird Dog Classic funds that event. And so anything we can do to improve our youth and to get them motivated to get outside and enjoy the world is it's kind of my mission in life. And so I'm very involved. So there's another event that we've had 3 of them here called the Pheasants Forever Heartland Challenge Cup. And this is where last year we bring, like a normal field trials, what's ours, 60 bucks, 75 bucks, 80 bucks. Mine that I bring in is $700 to enter for one dog. And so this bringing all the big boys in the country. And last year we had 17 states involved that brought hunters from across the country, from California to Pennsylvania to Alabama, Kentucky, Idaho, Utah, and then all the Midwest states, Wisconsin, South Dakota, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Kansas, from all over, to right here to Independence, Kansas. And I will tell you, they love this town. And Rusty has kind of built a mecca, what he's trying to do, a mecca for bird dogs and handlers to come here and to compete and enjoy this part of the country. Before I keep going, Rusty, as we had a NUX event last week, and Rusty wanted me to share with you just some of how much economic impact that it brought. This is a NUX event, not a BHU guy. I'm not a NUX guy, I'm a BHU guy. But anyway, they had about 100 entries with, I think, about 50 to 60 hunters that came in. 7 states were represented, and these are all pretty much Midwest states. Out-of-town visitors, 40 to 50. The number of hotel rooms were somewhere in that 20 range. And so I'm not sure, I don't have dollars and cents here, but I do know it was significant. But what, I had some time during this because I don't only run one dog, and I opened the bag that you guys gave, and I started reading some of the information about this great community and the hiking trails and your Elk City Lake, and the guys were coming in, duck hunters coming in, watching us compete, and it's just, this is a great community. And what Rusty has built here with Remington Ranch, I think, is just significant for the improvement of this community. I'm going to throw a couple of numbers at you, not a lot, but these are the money that we rolled through. This isn't profits. This isn't what was donated. This is room rentals. These are meals that are consumed every day. We go to the country club, and we usually have about 65 to 85 people having meals. In which next week we're going to have, I think I've got a guaranteed right now of 83 meals. So you do the numbers, so there's 83 people that got to sleep somewhere, and they're putting heads in the beds, and I know that's important for the Convention and Visitors Bureau here. But Mike's giving us a discount with alcohol. Just in the grocery stores and the Dairy Queens and everybody that's giving all the discounts. So I want to thank Mark for doing that, because that really helps us. Because we want to come to a place where the community not only supports us, but we can help them as well. But I will tell you, in the 6 years that we've had the Bird Dog Classic, and this one here, we've got 100. We'll have about 100, and they're not all in yet, but probably about 110 to 120 runs of people coming to the community. We give away 8 guns. We have 8 different divisions, as Mark said. We got youth, we have ladies, we have the open, we have the amateur. And all these people come from all over the country to enjoy Independence, Kansas. Then what also is very important to us is youth. As I said earlier about what we're doing for the youth outdoor experience, and this is where we come May 1st. If you want to put that on your calendar, May 1st, we're all coming here. We'll probably have 40 to 50 kids doing those 5 or 6 different events. So that's a one-day event here. But we had, unfortunately, and where I'm on time, because I can talk forever and I don't want. Oh, I'm okay. One of our beloved members died last week out of Arkansas, Vern Austin, and he puts on the Arkansas State Championship every year and did it for about 5 or 6 years. And anyway, he passed away. So my wife and I drove down and went to the funeral. And on our way back from that, a kind of light bulb went on, and I thought, what can we do to perpetuate the legacy of this great BHU man? So we decided we would try to come up with a couple of scholarships. And we'll be adding, I'm hoping, I'm right in the middle of fundraising right now, so I got to call all of my buddies, but we're going to try to have two $1,000 scholarships for youth. And this is going to go towards their college education. So this isn't fun money. It's not play money. It's not video game money. Where I'm going to buy a couple CDs, and my 501c3 will be the custodial of these CDs, and we'll write a check to the university. It doesn't have to be a 4-year. It could be a 2-year community college. It could be a tech college. It could be a 4-year college. But we want these funds to go to improve their education. And so we're doing that in honor of Vern Austin from Arkansas, and because he was so and he loves kids. And when I called his wife about it and talked about my thought of doing a couple scholarships, and she just says that's exactly what he would want to do, because he was an outdoorsman, he was a hunter, he was a paraplegic, and I've known him for 6 or 7 years, and he could just move his index finger to move the toggle on his wheelchair, and that's the only thing. But he hosted the events. He'd have us over for dinner, but children and youth and education and God that was his mantra. And so we want to try to perpetuate that, and so we're going to do that with our scholarships. But in terms of numbers, the Bird Dog Classic in the 6 years, we have run through this town, by my numbers, and I got statistics to back it up, about $384,000. And that's expenses, just overall of the event itself, $384,000 over those 6 years. We've had 3 years of the Heartland Challenge Cup, which I've not talked about. Well, I alluded to it a little bit. That's where the $700 entry fee comes in, and these are the big bad boys in the United States, and they know it. So everything has to be just perfect, because it's not perfect, and what they do, they complain. And I don't like complainers. I just can't do that. So we got to have everything organized. And having it here in Independence has really been critical, because Rusty's got a great venue. You wouldn't think of this, but grass. Just grass is very important. So we use chucker and the birds, so the birds will stay in the grass instead of running off. But for the 3 years of there, we've generated about $250,000 that have come through this city. So the 6 years and 3, that's $634,000, and we're very, very proud of that. But we would not do that if this town did not support us like you all have, and the money that you've helped us offset our expenses. Not only offsets the expenses, but we use that for our youth outdoor experience to further educate our kids in outdoors and hunting and fishing and just camaraderie and so forth. And then when we had hand out all of our awards at the Independence Country Club, and Dee Dee out there just puts on a great meal, and Sam, the chef here, have you guys eat with this guy? I mean, I'm in the restaurant business. I was in the restaurant business for 45 years, and to come here to the Independence, we had dinner there last night, and just had a great meal. And what you all, that's a little jewel that I hope you guys are taking advantage of, because it's just wonderful. But so I'm done. I just wanted to again say thank you to the City of Independence and what you have done for us, and really helping us raise money for our youth and our future, because the youth are our future. And what you've done is just very much appreciated, and I love you for it. So thank you very much. Hold up, Lisa. I'm going to get my mask on here. This lady's awesome, too.
Well, we thank you for coming, driving from Kansas City. Joanne might snatch you up when she found out you had restaurant experience, so you might be working in a grant program. You never know. Yeah. So, and I want to say a special thank you to Rusty and Mark, because they're chamber members. They come into the chamber when they're out soliciting for things. They're always talking to our chamber members, making sure that the hotels that they are using as sponsoring hotels are chamber members. I know Bhumi Patel, that's the new owner of the Microtel, has done an amazing job of being their sponsoring hotel. I think that's where all these 40 and plus people were staying, and they're actually one of the host hotels for the upcoming Kansas airstrip attack. So we appreciate their support. We appreciate all the restaurants and the store owners downtown and all that they do. But lastly, I would just say that, Ed, you made the comment, if BHU was your thing or what's your thing. And really, it's, if hunting is not your thing, what you do need to know, and it should be your thing, is the economy of our community. And that's what I see that these guys bring through all of the organization efforts that they make to bring these hunters, men, women, and children, to our community. And they are having, number one, a great time while they're out at Remington Ranch hunting and taking part in all of that. But I wouldn't say more importantly, but in addition to that, they are making a difference in the economy of our community. And that is why we are always excited to be able to grant them tourism funds so that they can continue to make their events bigger and better and bring more people to the community.
Can I say one thing?
Yep,
Not to interrupt, but
you're fine.
you were talking about the cardiovascular disease of women, and I think the number 3 killer. But also with your support, we were able to buy our own defibrillator that we have at every field trial. And it's in the BHU trailer. And so we do have an incident with a heart attack or whatever, before 911 and the first responders get to us, we've got our own box that we purchased with our fundraising efforts. But
That's awesome.
You helped us. So I wanna
That's
say
awesome.
thank you for
Well,
that.
we're glad that you did that, to keep people safe, because you're out in the middle of a field somewhere, someone has a heart attack, and having an AED is critical to save someone's life. So we're glad that you're doing that. And I'm glad you stood up and said that, because I also want to give you thanks again for your contribution to Doug. I know that they appreciate the Pheasants Forever contribution. So with that, we're ready for our last speaker of the morning. She is always busy. She's the executive director of Montgomery County Action Council. She's in the thick of funding, loans, and grants, and all that COVID is bringing regarding that. She's a shingles survivor, a COVID survivor, I don't know, a PPP survivor, and a mother of 2 sweet boys. She's a busy lady, but she works really hard for the county. So would you please welcome Tricia Purdon, who's going to give us an update on everything we need to know regarding funding for our area businesses and industries, and maybe some economic development information as well.
Good morning, Lisa, and everyone here. Thank you so much. So I was going to lead off because I love the conversation we've had around American Heart Association and today, Wear Red Day. I think it's just extra cool that the Chiefs are supporting American Heart Association Day with Wear Red Friday. So a little double reason to wear red today. And Lisa said too, I'm a COVID survivor, so I appreciate everyone wearing their masks, and I hope we get to come out of this, but COVID is no fun. You don't want this. I was laid up for a solid 7 days and couldn't get out of bed for 7 solid days, and if you know me at all, that's impossible. Having a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old tackle you with COVID is just an extra level of interesting. So, today, I really wanted to talk to everyone about a couple things. First, I'm trying to get information out about some of the programs that are coming out, programs that are currently active, and then give you a little bit of update. We just finished 2020 and some results that we saw in 2020 with MAC and the businesses that we saw. So I'll kick it off first with some of the programs that are currently available. So if you're a small business owner, make sure you're taking notes. First of all, I wanted to give a quick update. When the U.S. government passed the new stimulus bill back in December, they rolled out another round of PPP funding, which is the Payroll Protection Program. So far, as of yesterday morning, they have granted out $72.7 billion since December. 68% of that went to businesses that requested $50,000 or less, and 81% of that money went to businesses requesting $100,000 or less. So if that makes any sense, we see a lot of small businesses here in Independence that have payroll that are around $100,000 or so. So if you're thinking about some of the businesses here, 81% of all of that 72.7 billion did go to small businesses, and especially those very small businesses with $50,000 or less in their annual payroll. So that's really nice to see that money going to help our small businesses. That program is still active. You would go through your banker in order to apply for that. And if you don't remember what that is, it's 10 weeks of payroll expenses for your business can be granted back to your business to help you keep those employees working in your company while you're going through this pandemic. So I encourage everyone to apply for it. If you've applied for it in the first round, you can still do it in the second round. With the caveat that I'm going to talk about here shortly, there's one type of business that do not apply for that program yet because there's something better coming for you. So the second program I want to talk about is the EIDL, which is the Emergency Injury Disaster Loan Program. And this one's a little tricky. That came out with that new legislation in December. And we're really excited. We just got notification yesterday that this is starting to roll out now. If you remember back in the spring of 2020, when they rolled that original program out, they said that you were going to get $10,000 in a grant, and then the remaining would be a loan for 6 months of your operating expenses to help you keep your business up and running. Well, they kind of did a gotcha, and they quickly realized they were going to run out of funding. And so what they ended up doing about 4 weeks into that program was changing that $10,000 grant to $1,000 per employee that you had. So if you were a sole proprietor and you had one employee on the books, you ended up only getting $1,000 instead of $10,000 that you thought you were applying for. But once you applied for those funding, you were stuck. It automatically showed that you had that funding, you got that $1,000, and it kicked you out of any eligibility for other programs that came out, like CDBG-CV that the City of Independence and Montgomery County and some other communities in the area rolled out, and eliminated you from those opportunities that would have been higher than that $1,000. So one of the fixes that I think Senator Moran helped kind of push through, which we were very grateful for, was a fix to that problem. So they're rolling out they're calling it Targeted EIDL Advance. And what that is they're sending out emails, and it started yesterday, so if you haven't gotten it yet, just keep looking and checking your email. But if you didn't get the full $10,000, you should be getting an email from SBA saying, submit your differences and your losses that you experienced in 2020 versus 2019. If you show a loss, then you should be eligible for that expanded amount up to that $10,000. So we're really hoping to see some of that money come into our community, but make sure you're checking your emails. That's how it's going to come to you. Any email that you registered with the SBA when you originally applied, that's how you're going to find out if you can get that additional potential $9,000 if you only got one. So we're really excited about that. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting and harassing the SBA office of when those were going to start to roll out because we know a lot of businesses are struggling. The next one, and this is the one I was alluding to earlier, this one's the doozy. And this one is going to hit our businesses that have definitely been hit the hardest of all. I don't think any of these businesses really have even opened up yet since March, and that's our Shuttered Venue Grant. And that one is, again, through the SBA, and this one is targeted for your live venue operators, your concert halls, memorial hall, museums, movie theaters, like our amazing movie theater here in Independence, Kansas, even zoos that you have to pay for. Unfortunately, our zoo I don't think is eligible, but there's several different groups that are eligible under this grant. This one will cover up to 45% of your 2019 revenue. So let's say you made $1 million in 2019, you can get 45% of that $1 million back into your business as a grant to help keep you open and alive in 2021 as you move forward. So this one's a doozy. It has not gone live yet, but I encourage everyone to go on to that website, and I've got it posted on our website, which is actioncouncil.com. If you go to COVID-19 financial resources for your business, that's where all of these links that I'm talking about are located. But you can go ahead and go on there, review all the requirements. It tells you what paperwork you're going to need to have ready. Go ahead and get that going. Get that ready so the moment that goes live, you can apply. And the reason why I'm saying this is because they're going to do a 15-day category rollout. So that first 15 days when it goes live is eligible for those businesses who've had 90% losses. Then it's going to go to after 15 days passes, they're going to open it up to the next round, which is those that have had 75% losses compared to 2019, and then it's going to go down. So if you've had those 90% losses, you want to get in there first. And then the moment it goes live for 75, if that's your category, you want to get in there because the money will run out. I guarantee the money's going to run out. So make sure you're paying attention and looking for that. The moment we get word from the SBA, we will post it on our Facebook page. So if you can follow our Facebook page, it's probably the fastest way to get out there. We'll share it to the chamber. We'll share it to Main Street. We'll share it out with Indy Responds so that everyone has access to this as fast as possible. The last piece that we have locally is we do, at the county, still have one grant left. It's the CDBG-CV. We still have $4,000 left. That is only for businesses who are outside of the city limits. So you guys might be eligible if you haven't applied yet. That would help some of those businesses recover some of those operating expenses that you've lost. So it's a reimbursement grant. You just have to have one employee that meets low to moderate income, and we can get you qualified and get you that grant money pretty fast. We turn it around typically in 2 to 3 weeks. So, okay. So again, on a wrap up of funding resources, if you go to our page, it says COVID-19 financial resources for business. That's where all of these grants are located. You can go ahead and see what you're going to need for the PPP applications before you go into your banker. You can pre-fill out that application, take it into your banker. Our bankers will rejoice that you have prepared so well for your grant, and they'll get that sent in for you much faster than if you just walk in there empty-handed. So take a look at that page. There's a lot of great information on there. At the last bit of that, if you're just floundering and you don't know what you want to apply for, you don't know what you're eligible for, there's a new tool the SBA has rolled out, and it's a button at the very top of that page. You click that button, and it's going to pull you in. It's going to ask information about your businesses, and it will guide you to which program best fits your business. So that way you don't accidentally apply for one that disqualifies you for others. You can go through that matrix and make sure that you are applying for the correct programs. Okay. So now for some fun stuff. I like to end on positive, right? So we have been really busy in the background, as Lisa said. This year, we helped administer about $7.4 million in grant funds and loan funds for small businesses and larger businesses here in Montgomery County to help keep those organizations alive. Of course, part of that was Spark, which we were administrators with Montgomery County. It helped our local hospitals, it helped our schools, it helped our cities to try to get some of that funding back so they can give back out to our communities, which we were excited to see. We saw things like air purification systems going into our hospitals and nursing homes. We saw new IV pumps for hospitals that haven't been able to afford systems like that, and with the expanded need we're seeing in our hospitals, that was a critical thing we were able to get out to them. So we're excited for that. With just small businesses, we saw about $750,000 of that just went to just small businesses, so 50 employees or less. So those really helped get people recovering and keeping their doors open, which we were really excited to help with. The other piece of that is that we have been lucky enough to be designated as an SBDC service center. So that gets us some of these tools that I've been talking about with the connections with SBA. We couldn't have timed that better so that we could really make sure that we're the first people that know when an SBA rolls out a new grant or program, they automatically send it to all the SBDC service centers. So we're glad we were able to participate with that program. But because of that, shockingly, we've seen a lot of new businesses open in Montgomery County this year. We helped 7 new small businesses open in Montgomery County during 2020 in the middle of a pandemic. They have guts, and I'm excited for them. But they got it done, and they're still open, which we're really proud to see. We only saw, I say only, we saw 89 new jobs created in Montgomery County in 2020. I think in 2019 we saw 220, so we're a little less than half than we saw in years past. But given everything that happened, seeing a job growth and not a job decline is pretty impressive. We're excited to see that. We submitted 9 proposals to try to get new businesses here in our town that came from Kansas Department of Commerce. And then we did see 6 expansions happen in Montgomery County this year. Even despite COVID, 6 of our businesses had expansion projects going on. And then the last project is we're moving forward with MAC and trying to really think about how do we best recover from the economic impacts that happen to our county. We want to be best prepared. So if we have a business that, let's say, makes PPE or they make air purification equipment and they need to expand and they need to build a building as fast as possible, we need to be absolutely ready for them so that we can have all of the groundwork done. So the moment they say, we're here, they can break ground and bring their construction crews in. They don't have to wait for 6 months doing studies, which is what always ends up happening. So we did 2 things this year. We just rolled out site certification. We're about halfway done with all of the paperwork to get that going with Independence's site out at the airport. And then we also rolled out a virtual building, which is really cool. If you want to go to our website, if you go to the site selection tab, you can click on that virtual building and it shows full architectural drawings of a building, it shows a spec building, and it has a customized tab that you can say, well, I don't need 6-inch reinforced concrete, I need 12-inch reinforced concrete, I need 40-foot ceilings, I need tilt-up concrete walls, I need things like that. You can customize your building. It'll not only plot out how much that's going to cost you, but it will also tell you how long it's going to take to build. So when you have those companies come to town and say, well, I need this up and running within 8 months, we can show them the building that can be up and running in 8 months. So we actually have a competitive advantage over other communities. So with that, I think that's all that I have. We're pretty excited to see some of the new growth that we're seeing in Montgomery County. I've been busy nonstop with new small businesses trying to open. I think I worked on 4 last week. So people are starting to expand, they're starting to grow, and they're starting to reinvest in our county. And despite COVID, we're going to keep pushing on and grow our county. So thank you very much.
On those notes that you were talking about that were available,
Yes.
don't you have to have at least a 25% decrease in business to even qualify for any of them?
For the second dip in PPP, you have to show a loss. If you'd never applied for the first round of PPP, and he asked, do you have to have a 25% loss? So for the second PPP, yes. Yes, you have to have a minimum of 25% loss. But if you didn't apply for the first round, that doesn't matter. You can go ahead and apply for that now. EIDL is the same thing. You have to be able to show that you've had a loss in order to apply for those. So if you're a super profitable business, you probably don't need these programs, but they want to show that you've had some sort of loss. If you weren't open by like March 1st of 2020, or then it automatically kind of kicks you out of some of these programs too. But if you opened in like November of 2019, they'll go on an average of your monthly revenues and losses. So.
Thank you.
Yep. No, and I will be happy. If anyone has any questions, call me. My office number is 620-331-3830. Call me. You can text me. Just shoot me all of your questions. That's exactly what I'm here for. So thank you very much.
Well, I want to say how appreciative we are about the county's support of the Montgomery County Action Council and all of the people who pay memberships, because MAC and the Chamber and Main Street are very much membership driven. While the city supports Main Street and the county supports MAC and tourism supports the tourism side of the chamber, we're all membership organizations. So we're very, very appreciative of everyone who supports all of our efforts. And I truly, I can't imagine if we didn't have MAC and we didn't have Tricia and our staff to be able to handle economic development for the county, if all of that fell on the shoulders of just fewer people if we didn't have the Main Street organization working to keep our downtown vibrant. And so all of those things, we all work together, but I can't imagine if there happened to be one of our entities not exist during all this especially. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who pays memberships to the Chamber and to MAC and to Main Street. We all appreciate that very much, and we appreciate the city's support and the county's support. And I will tell you that we are so blessed because, as Tricia said, we've had a lot of new business startups. The Chamber has an organization called BEST, which is Business and Entrepreneurial Support Team, and Tricia serves on that team. And we're working with a lot of small businesses, startups, and not only that, but we're seeing people come through the doors at the Chamber every couple of days, every week, because they're new to town. They've moved here. They're getting away from the cities. They're getting away from mass transit. They're getting away from millions of people, and they want grass. They want to be able to hunt. They want clean air, and they want to be around nice people, and that's what we are in Independence. So we're just excited. We're positioned very well for a successful 2021 if we all just hang together and support each other. So on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce and the City of Independence, I want to thank Brent and Dorothy Littleton again for their sponsorship, and Dairy Queen. And I want to thank Ed and Mark and Rusty for all of the work that you guys do to keep the hunters coming to our community. We are thankful that we have all of the hunting land, the public hunting land available for that, and equally as thankful for all the economy that it brings to the community. And thank you to Barbara and Joanne for all that you're getting ready to do with the Fab Food Lab project and everything that you guys have your hands in, and we'll continue to watch the ICC fablabicc.org website for more information about that. And Doug, thank you again for everything that you do. Check out the VFW's new handicap railing, and it's beautiful. Mark Lehman and Ironworks put that up, and it's just super cool. You want to check that out. And if you would like to contribute to the flag project, you can make your checks payable to Community Foundation for Independence, or CFFI. You can drop those by the Chamber right now, and we will make sure we get those deposited. They are a tax-deductible contribution, so be thinking about giving generously to that so we can keep beautiful flags flying in Independence, in the downtown and around town. And lastly, thank you, Tricia, for the hours and hours and hours that you put in helping everyone, including me. I call Tricia a lot and ask her questions so that I can pass that on to our businesses that are Chamber members and just better understand it, because it is daunting and very confusing many times. So we appreciate all the hours that you put in telling us about them, but studying up on it, going to webinars and conferences and listening to all of that information and reading that information. So I could go on and on, because I'm just very thankful for everyone who contributes to make Independence a great place to live and do business. So with that, thank you for tuning in to First Friday. Tell your friends to make sure and watch First Friday. And we look forward to seeing you again next month. I believe the date is March the 5th. So have a good weekend and happy Valentine's Day.